Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter to discuss the many amazing UI UX improvements that he has given to us over the years. This time we're going to go super in depth. Real quick, my name is Margaret Carlton. Again, I'm here with Nick Hunter, and we stream on 3 platforms. We stream on Discord, we stream on YouTube, and we stream on Twitch. So please talk to us, please ask us questions. Our entire goal is to build a fantastic interactive community where we encourage learning as much as you can about the FileMaker platform and, bending the FileMaker platform to your will, as it were, because it's very flexible. So, real quick, I'm going to cover what we're doing up with the broadcast schedule. So our broadcast schedule today, we have Nick Hunter, yes, and then tomorrow we have Mr. Watson returning to discuss more FM Workmate. Friday is Stump the Monkey and open Q&A about monkey bread, so we got Christian Schmitz. Monday is going to be magnetic card swiping and FileMaker, which will be fun. Tuesday will be JavaScript with Leland Wand, which will also be very entertaining. And then Wednesday, Nick returns. So this is part of an ongoing series with Mr. Nick Hunter. So real quick, if you decide that, hey, this schedule's pretty sweet, but I want to learn something that's specific about FileMaker, or you'd like to support our channel, feel free to buy one of our subscriptions. If you've got one that has FileMaker, one that has only the videos, basically if you want to learn FileMaker in 20-minute animated chunks about pretty much everything with about 100 plus hours of video content, this is the stuff for you. So feel free to do that. We would greatly appreciate it, and you get quite a bit out of the deal. So what are we doing today, Nick?
So today we are going to continue the design kind of our webinar, this series of about design, and so the last two days we did this how we do a selector of item selector, right? So when you want to link a record to another record, so I show that you can have different ways to do that, and much more advanced than just what's the name, the pop-up menus and stuff like that. So that was the two last session that we did. So now we are going to continue this series of session about design, and I'm going to talk to you about something that we always want to do, and we don't, because it's not easy with FileMakers. So what we want to do today is this. We want to create records, right? So we want to create a contact, for example, that my example of today. But when you want to create an example, or you want to create a contact, you want to make sure that when you create it, you can create, you don't forget things, and you get all the information you need, and you can do it quickly. That means when you are doing something and the contact missing, you don't want to drop everything you were doing and to create the contact and come back, right? So we want to do something better than this. We don't want I'm going to show you that. I'm going to share my screen right quick, and so I'm going to forward this, and so what we want to do today. Okay, so most of the time we are doing things, and we want to, and we realize in the middle that something is missing, and most of the time we have to create what is missing and come back. For example, here, let's say I'm here, right? I want to add a contact to that account. I go there, I look for my contact, and I see, okay, I see that it's not there, right? So it's missing. So let's say I forgot to create the contact before. So, okay, so I close this. Now I need to leave. I go to the contact. I create my contact. Then I go back to the account, and then I add the contact to my list, right? So this is when we don't have a UI that, we don't have a kind of a support to get the UI and UX. So I want to talk about that again. to repeat I'm going to repeat myself, but I want the people to people that just are watching this webinar and didn't watch the other one. I want them to understand what I'm talking about. To create a UI, which is a user interface, okay, we need a support. We need something to put down the user interface. Most of the time it's a window, it's a layout. We need a support for that, right? And when we have the support, we can lay down the UI, okay? And when we have a UI, user interface, right, we can have what we call the user experience. That means that the workflow to make sure that everything's flawless and everything is smooth between the beginning and the end of your action, right? So this is what we are going to do. So here, when I add a contact here, right, I have a support. It's a card style window, okay? So it's a new style of window that FileMaker introduced 2 releases ago. And so this is my support, okay? It's a support that I can use now to put a UI. So the last 2 weeks, the last 2 sessions, we talk about this window a lot. We talked about this type of user experience, adding a contact. You select, you unselect, etc., etc. We talk about that, right? So now that I have this support, okay, I can add a new UI on this, okay? I can put on top of it a new UI, to get me a new user experience. For example, here, I don't want to leave this window when I realize that a contact is missing. I want to be able to create a contact right away, okay? Right away. So, no, we are not going to just bring a new window, because people will do that. They do the new window and go to contact, create the contact. No, we're not doing this, right? No, we're not doing this. Not only we are going to be able to create a contact, but we are going to be able to create it in a very good condition. I mean, we are going to help the user to understand what he's doing. Okay. So, for example, here, let's say I realize that a contact is missing. So you see here, I have a create button. This is a button that create. And here, when I click here, I'm leaving the contact window, right? I'm leaving it, right? And then here, I am in a completely new window with a new UI, right? And you can see that this, it's just because I have a support now. I have a support that way I can lay down a UI, especially, I have a bug here, I don't know why. Sorry for that. So I have a UI now that can, just for the creation of contacts. This is doing just this, okay? It's doing just this. Create contacts. But you can see that I built it for that purpose. I'm not reusing the same layout to edit, read, and create, right? If you take your phone right now, take your phone on your hand and you go to contact and you create a new contact, you will see that you don't have the same UI when you create a contact, when you edit a contact, and when you browse a contact, you don't have the same UI. So you don't have the same, because it's not the same action. It's not the same thing you want to do. So if you go to your phone right now and you click create a contact, you will see that you cannot call a contact when you are creating one. And we say, okay, why I cannot call a contact if I'm creating one? Because you're creating one. You're not calling it. You need to create him. You need to create the contact before to call it. So that's why you this, right? So each UI has its purpose, right? And here we are doing the same thing because we're not reusing the same UI to create edits and read the information, because here it's very dedicated to create the UI, create the contact. And you can see here I added some things cool. For example, everything that read needs to be filled up. You need to fill things in the red, in order to get to the next step. For example, here, so I need to, fill up. As I'm filling up, things are, getting not read. They're not read here. But this is still incomplete. This here, it's incomplete. And you can see, for example, here, I cannot, create it. I cannot validate. And this button here also is telling me incomplete. So you can see, again, like exactly what I was saying last time, because I have a dedicated UI for one specific action, I can add all this goodness that you cannot have in another UI. For example, let's cancel this. Yeah. Let's cancel this. Let's go. Let's create a new window. Then we will have it. Okay. Let's say I'm going there. I am in contacts, right? And I'm in contact, and I want to do exactly the same, to have the same comfort, the same quality of comfort, okay? To when I create what's the name? A contact here. So you have a bunch. You need a bunch of triggers, right? And a bunch of messages that get you nuts because they come, you want to revert, so you have all this insanity. And I know many of you guys, okay, are doing this. The triggers on each field, if it's empty, you can, when you commit, you cannot. Okay, look, it's insane. I know that. You cannot lie to me because I know it very well. So when you have this type of UI here, you don't need this insanity, because you have the UI doing it for you. And I'm going to continue this, and we are going to go to the what's the name? We are going to go to the we are going to go to the layout. Sorry. So you have a phone, and you have another phone, and you have an email. And you have an address, and you have a city, and you have a state. Okay. So, and now, like by magic, I have the validate button is blue, right? So if I remove this, I don't have it. If I put that back, I have it back. Bam, validate. But now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to, okay, I wanted for my demo, I wanted to be able to create multiple contacts, not only one. Okay, so I create a new contact here. Bam. It's incomplete, and I cannot validate because now I have two contacts. I don't have only one. I have two, and one of it is incomplete. That means I cannot complete the action of creating two contacts, because the beauty of this, when you have a UI like this, I have a UI, so because I have a UI, I have the support and the UI, I can have the human experience, the user experience I want. I can do all what I want now, all what I want because I have the support to do it. Before with this, we don't have it. We have one kind of big table where we lay down things, but we don't have a dedicated space. It's like, let's say you go to your kitchen, okay, and you have no cabinets and no drawers, okay? Everything is there, block, okay? It's not the same when you have cabinets with the plate, with the glasses, with a drawer, with the utensils. It's not the same. It's much better when you have things well organized. Here is like there's no cabinet. It's just everything is on the counter. Okay, so it can be cool, but it's messy, right? It's like in a kitchen. It's the same, right? So that's why we have this. So now I can do something crazy here. I can just cancel. When I cancel, I say, okay, are you sure you want to delete those two contacts because you just create them? But because I have a UI, those two contacts are encapsulated in my experience that I'm doing right now. They are still with me. I didn't release them in the wild. I didn't open the cage. They are still within my this world here. They are here. We have two records here. I have two records. So, and you will see that technically this type of construction is very cool because everything you will see, everything that normally it's super extremely complicated here is not. For example, if let's delete this. So I delete them. But here, let's say you want to create a contact and you want to create 2, 3, 4 contacts. And then you realize that those 4 free contacts, I forgot that they're no longer valid, or your boss is telling you, no, they're not valid. That the old list. Oh, okay. You want to cancel. How you cancel? You cannot cancel. They're there, they're created, and maybe somebody is already using them on the network, right? So you cannot, you know what I mean? So you don't have any possibility of taking a user experience. So let's recreate that really quick. So we have this and this. Oops, if I don't spell my name. Oh, okay. So this, and this, and this, and nick@.com. And address 138 Santa Clara, San Jose is here. Okay, so now I have this and I create the second one. So when I create the second one, and I do this, counting, president, okay. And so I do the same here, and address, city, whatever. And so now I have the possibility of creating 2, right? So if I create validate, it will create 2 new contacts, right? So of course I have a UI. Remember, it's very important. So far you see that the creation of contacts has been very simple. You can do that on the fly, blah 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 blah. Okay, and you see here that I have a menu, custom menu that goes with what I'm doing right now. Create new contact, duplicate contacts. I can just duplicate these contacts, right? I can just duplicate it. There's no problem, right? So I have 2 now, right? I can go there and I can just, I want to delete that contact, because, or for example, I want to delete that one. So I delete one, delete that contact. So everything you do, you do inside this window you hear, this inside this world, right? Because you don't interfere with anything else. So until you click validate, you are in that world and you can do whatever you want. Okay, cancel, delete all, whatever you want, and you have the menu that goes with this. So let's say now I'm okay, I'm good. I want to validate this. Okay, I want to validate this. So of course you click validate, and now you have here this UI telling you, okay, you have 2 new contacts, and they are selected for you. They are selected, right? Because remember, the intention, the first intention was to add contacts to my account. That was the first intent. I wanted to add contact to my account. I realized that 2 contacts were missing. So I created the 2 contacts, and now I see them into my list as a new contacts. The system is telling me that I have 2 new contacts, and they are all obviously, if you were adding contacts to your accounts, and you create from that starting point, you create 2 contacts. Obviously, you want them to be selected and to be ready to be added to the list, right? So this is what we call a user experience. That means everything has been taken care of. The first, when you land here, when you create the thing, and everything ready, right? So you can easily, what you don't want to, you don't want to miss anything that you need here. And when you have everything, everything is visual. You can see now that everything okay. You validate, bam, new contact, and you add select contact, bam. Okay, so it's extremely organized, and you see that it's much better to have a UI like this, right, than not having. So do we have any question for right now?
We do. We have one from David Angel. How does Nick validate the record creation? Does he use global fields, temp table?
Okay, can you constrain the name? Okay, no, where is the
question, the one above that. Discord? It's in Discord. It's the one right above Amanco.
Yeah. Validate the record creation. Use global. Okay. No, yeah. Okay. So you have multiple. I don't use. It's a good question. Okay. I don't use globals because it's complicated. It's dirty. Okay, because you have a lot of fields and stuff like that. I prefer to do a temp table. Okay. Here I didn't do it. If we go to that layout, I don't remember the name of this layout. Hold on. If we go to that layout, let's go. Which layout is? It's the C101. Okay. Okay, so we go C101. So when you go there, it's the same. It's the same contact table, but I did it for just because it was easier for the demo, right? Don't forget that those are demo files, right? So, and they are extremely advanced for demo file already. So, but yes, normally, if you want to do something like this, what you need to do is it's not difficult. You go to the table contacts, right? You select, which field you want to, you select the field you need, right? You copy the fields, you create the contact temp, and then you use them. And you use the import kind of technique that I'm using many times, So you have the temp table and you import the record in the table. You don't do a set field. This is dirty. This is crap. No, you when you are in your temp table, temporary table, you import. I didn't do it because it was easier for me not to do it. But normally you do the temp. The question is if you don't want to interfere with the current table, with the real table, with the running table, right? The live table, let's say. If you don't want to interfere with that table, you need to use that technique. You have a temp table, which is, I'll show you, it's very easy to build. You copy paste the fields and that's it. You do all your stuff, your layout is showing that table, and then you can what's the name? When you validate, you import all the records that you created. Import in the live table, and voila. So yeah, you do that. Question: can you constrain the name to pick from based on a global using the parameter in? I don't know. Okay. Can you constrain the name to pick from based? Oh, the name to pick from based on the global using the parameter in. I don't understand Amanco. Constrain the name of what? Oh, you mean when you click that button, right? Amanco, when you click add button, that's what you want. Oh, okay. So yeah, of course you can. Because this is the advantage. It's a good question. It's a little bit off topic, but we can do it. We have time today. So so when you do this, the advantage is this. So let's say you want to do like you said, you want to constrain, so we have this. So here, what the script is doing, let's say you want to add, you want to constrain from a country, for example, so or city, for example. Let's constrain from city. Okay, you want to constrain from a city. So let's say you want to constrain. That's a good test. Okay, let's say I want to constrain by the city of the or the state of the account. Okay, it's a good example. I am in this account and I want to constrain from this account. So I'm setting a variable, and I will show you why. And it's the current state. Okay, so current state. I pick the billing, right? So I want the billing state. State. So I'm going to create this. Okay, so I'm going to pick the current state, right? And then I want to make sure that I'm going to show only the same, only the contacts from that state. Okay, and so I go there, and this is the beauty of this is because I just do this, perform a find, because now I am in the contacts, So I will be in the contacts. I will be in T05. I'm in contacts, right? And I want to, so I don't know in contact which one is the primary state, primary city state, primary state province one. Okay. I want this, and I want to, how I call this? I called current state, yeah. Okay, and I want this. Okay, so, and I want the equal in front of it. Make sure that it's equal this. So now I have this, right? So I have the contacts. So when I click here, it will come only the contact from California. Okay. So, and you can see they all need California, CA, 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 right? So it's a good test. So if I put Texas here, okay, so and I click contact here, is all the Texas people. So it's cool, right? So and this is because I have the UI, right? I have the UI, so I can do what I want. So this is a test, it's just a demo, right? But what did I do? I suck in the current billing state from this account, right, in a variable, because I'm going to leave the context. I'm going to leave the context. So you cannot say and perform fine. You cannot point. This is another stupid thing from FileMaker. You cannot point this to a field. You cannot add a field here. So you need to put that as a variable, and then you can paste the variable inside this dialog. But anyway, you need to do this before we leave the context, because when you do new window, you leave the context. You're not in T01 anymore. You're in T05. You're in content, right? So is that answer the question, Amanko? I think so. So you see, it's very simple. Just because I have the right UI, I can do whatever I want, right? It's cool. Okay. It's very important to have the right UI. So I want to continue a little bit this. And make sure that we cover everything. So I want to explore a little bit this guy here. Right? I want to explore, and I want to see how I'm doing. How I'm doing this here. Okay, this here. The conditional formatting. Okay, so this is. So this one is special. Okay. Let's go there. So this is what. So if it's empty, if it's empty if it's empty the fields, the same. So I cannot say self, because self we point to the label. But when this is empty, just this is all what I'm doing. I'm doing. When this is empty, that's it. Okay, so that's easy. When it's empty is easy, but how I'm doing the validate button that goes away, and when is here, not get found count. Okay, no, this is not the one. Okay. Oh, this is okay. Okay, so I have, right, because you remember only when some fields, I need the thing, right? Only when some fields, some of them, not all of them, okay? So how I can decide, okay? So I have a list of mandatory, so hold on. I have a tag mandatory. Okay, so this is the tag mandatory. So here I have, for each record, I have a tag. We call that a tag. A tag, what is a tag? A tag or flag, call it what you want. What is a tag? A tag is a Boolean. Yes, no, 1, 0, valid, not valid. Okay, so I want this to tell me that what it's a number. That's why that is a number. I want to declare this record, the current record I'm in. I want to declare this record validated, valid or not valid, based on the list of fields. Here I said, okay. I want I have three types of mandatory fields. Three types. Okay. I have the general, the fonts, and the address. Let's go. I have the general, that I call that general, the fonts, and the address that were there. Okay. Okay. So in general, so I did that for debugging purposes. It's easier for me, and for adapting. I want to adapt my stuff. I want to copy paste, right, to another file or another table. Okay. So I'm saying this is the list of the fields I want inside my mandatory kind of constraints. Those are the fields I want to make sure that somebody put something. Okay. So they cannot be empty. Then I go and I have the phones. I want phone one, cell phone one, and email. Okay, I put that on phone, but you understand what I mean. Communication, let's say. I put the email on phone, but okay. The address, I want the primary street, the primary city, and the primary state. Okay? So far, so good. So now, what can I do with it? Because let's copy this and let's go and see how it looks. Okay, I'm going there. Okay, it's very important because it's a good technique and I love it. So, why is not put that here? Okay, no. Here. It's incredible. It's pasting. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I cannot tag. Why I cannot copy this? Copy. That everywhere. I can paste it. Okay. It's very weird. My command V doesn't work. Okay, so I'm here, create. Okay, I go there, and I'm going to create, paste it. Okay. It said table missing because I need to add this. Okay. Okay, let me do that right quick. Okay, sorry for that. So I need this. I have now my list of fields, right? So my list of things. Okay, so here it says one. It says, so what the thing's doing? Okay, I go to my list of fields and I count how many fields are filled. I count them because I have a list of fields. So if I show this, what this is showing is showing this. No having paste is very okay. It's showing this, So I have this. So all the fields, right? The content of those, they are, that's what I want. I have the list of everything I have here, right? So that's why it says account the values, account the values on how many I have here, right? So how many values I have here, and I said the values needs to be 5. It needs to be 5 fields. 5 fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It needs to be 5 fields in my list. And then I said, here I need 3 fields. 1, 2, 3. And then I said, here I need 1, 2, 3 fields. So if you go to their tag here. Look, sorry for that. I got disturbed because I didn't have my paste. When you go there, you say, okay, if this is not 5, if the count of this list is not 5, and the count of this list is not 3, and the count of this list is not 3, that means it is not valid. It is not valid. and you can adjust it. Let's say you want to add a field. Okay, you add a field, 4. You add the field here, and you add the field here, and you say 4, right? That's it, right? So this is how you do this. Otherwise, look, you can do whatever you want. You won't do it. It won't work, Or you need to do if not empty this, if it's not empty that, if it's not empty that. You cannot, okay, no, you cannot do case. Case is not working because case, because, I talk to myself, case not working because the first serve stopped the case. So here, otherwise you need to go and say if, and another if, and another if, and another, it's a nightmare, Yeah, here I paste, I don't know why, no, paste not working. My paste not working. Anyway, so this is how you do the validation of the number of fields. You can use this technique for many things. You can use many things with this technique. It's very cool. Okay, do you have any question on this?
I don't see any questions on Twitch or YouTube, and then
David enjoys. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's I'm a list guru. You know the list function. You know that, right? I'm using the list for a lot because it's making my life much easier, right? Much easier. So you take the list of the field and then you stack them and then you count them and you say, okay, if it's not free, it's not valid. That's it, right? It's not, list master, yeah. And now I want to show you, because you remember, I don't have not only one records. Here, I cannot validate this, right? It's not, we can't, okay? So I need to go there and continue this. Here. 111 at.com and 123 and CTSA and CA. Okay, but now I have 2. Okay, so how it knows that this is not valid because it's because I validated this one, but how it knows that hold a minute, this is okay, it's complete, but I cannot go incomplete because he knows that this one is incomplete. How you do that? How you do that? How you do that without to be like super complicated? FileMaker gives me everything, but because I'm using the right technique before, I'm using the right. I think I don't have because of this. I don't. I have the right technique to tell me which one is complete, incomplete. I'm using auto entry calculation with a tag. I'm using that. I'm using the tag with the auto entry calculation. Why? Because now I can use another good stuff from FileMaker, the list of mandatory. So what is the list of? The list of, right? It's, what it is. It's going to give you the list, right, of a field, of the current. It's very important, of the current found set. Now, let me explain you. Here, why it is incomplete. Why? Because if I go to the list of mandatory, I have this. I have 1. 1 is incomplete. 1 is incomplete. Look. So my list here, I have 1 incomplete, right? So let's say I have 2 incomplete. Okay. But this one is. I have 2 incomplete. Now I have 2 ones, but I don't. But we don't care. What is important is I have at least one in my list. Okay, so let's say I'm completing this one. Okay, I'm completing this one, and bam. Now I have 2 zeros. Okay, if I go there, I do it incomplete. Bam. Now I have 1 0 1 and 0. So I have a 1. So this is incomplete. So how this works? Okay. If I go to this layout here, and I'm going to show what is, making this invalid. Here. So FileMaker, okay, when you have a list, right? When you have a list of values and they're all zeros, FileMaker will count this as a Boolean not valid. So it means here I say hide when this is valid, when the list of mandatory is valid. That means hide it when you have a 1. When you have one tag mandatory missing in my list, here you see I have 2 records, right? So I have 2 values because the list of is returning the list of a given field of the current found set demonstration. If I create another one, now look, I have all those ones. Okay, because it's based on the found set. Until all of them are zeros, until then, FileMaker won't show the button to validate. Okay. So it's because so you see, I want to educate you in a way that when you have the good technique is when you can continue using, because you start with the right one. So you start with the tag, which is the way to do. But why I have the tag? I have the tag because I have an auto entry calculation that gives me, based on the list of the fields that I want the tag to tell me which one is not valid, or valid. Then because I have this tag, something that FileMakers understands, okay? It's Boolean. Boolean for FileMaker is like a candy bar, okay? It's always good, okay? It's FileMaker loves Boolean. Why? Because computer love Boolean. Because computer, they don't know what this yes, no, they don't know perhaps, they don't know that, they yes, no, okay? So that's why FileMakers loves so much the Boolean, and that's why as much as possible I want to go to the Boolean and proof of it. But most of you didn't know something very, very special. That's try to replicate it, because it's very important. When you have a list, when you have a list when you have a list like this, and you have 1, 2, you have 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. This okay. How I can say that? Get that Boolean until this will always get as Boolean. This is what I want. It says it's 1. So that means this in my list here, for him it's valid because I have 1 valid. So for FileMaker, this is valid because I have at least 1 valid. See, I put 0 here, okay, and I put 0 here, still valid. But if I put 0 here, up, it's not valid. If I put 1 here in my list, bam, it's valid. So you didn't know that you could have a list of zeros and 1, and if you have 1 in the middle, you have 2 million records and you have 1. For FileMaker, that list is not good to go because you have at least 1, right? So this is how I'm using this, and but I know many of you didn't know. For example, let's say you have an email. Imagine you have a mailing list. Imagine this: you have a mailing list and you have 1 email not valid, or missing, okay, in the list. So let's say you have a tag that says tag is email. Do you have an email? You have a tag that says if the email is empty or not. And then you have a list of this tag, and at the end you say, hey, FileMaker, is that mailing list I have? Will I get an error? Yes, you will, because 1 is missing. And it's because, and then if you go further, because you have 1 0, it's easy now to use relationship to get you to the email that is missing, because you can have 1, you say 1 to 1, show me all the ones on my records, show me the ones, and then you say go to red records. You create if you want, next time I can do that. I can create that environment for you. Let's create that. Yeah, let's do that. Next time I will do this. Because you can do the tag system that I'm using so much for everything. For example, okay, my example. I want a tag. I don't even know if I still have one. Do I have one? No. Let's say I want the tag is email. This is how I'm calling this. Okay, create a tag, And what the tag says, the star says, okay, is empty email. So I don't know, email or mail, email. Is empty email. And you don't need to do, and many of you, are, beginners and intermediate. You don't know that. You don't need to say that if is empty email, then 1, otherwise 0. You don't know that. You don't need it. Boom. FileMaker will tell you. FileMaker will say, is empty email? Yes, no. It will return that. It will return the information automatically. You don't need to say case or if. No. Is empty email? Always, FileMaker, when you use FileMaker, you need to imagine when you put something in the calculation, you need to imagine that is empty, Always, you need to say that FileMaker will try to answer the question, is empty, always. And when you don't have something Boolean, you can say get as Boolean, That's it, get as Boolean. So, but that is another story. So let's say is empty email. This is my tag, right? This is my tag. So now that I have my tag, it's very easy. So let's create a new. I have a new here. Is empty email. So let's go to the data viewer and let's watch it. No. Tag is empty. Is there? Yes, it's empty. The email is empty. No problem with this. So now if I do something like this, I put something, but it's not empty now. Right? Very easy. So now if you have a list on this, like I did for this, and you say, okay, hey, you have a problem with your list of contacts, some of them, right, are missing. And you know what? look when you have the right technique, and then we go. But when you have the right technique, you look how good the thing gets. When you have the right stuff and the right information, you can get a lot out of this, a lot, and all this goodness, what I call the good, you can extract the carriage return. David Angel. But it's a little bit of gas works, right? So you say we need to substitute this. So the carriage return by nothing, and then do a sum on this. No. No. Oh. Yeah. Now the sum doesn't like stuff like this. It's very particular. Sum. So you say we need to replace by this. Yeah. Anyway, I like pattern count better. Anyway, so you got the point. You got a point here. So you see all this goodness that we took, all those incompletes, all this stuff. Look what you get, because I have a tag that says 1 or 0. I got all of this. I cannot validate, and I'm sure that I'm not doing stupid things. And I help my user, and everything clear. You know the list you created. Look, it's very cool. I launched a new competition. Label for substitute by plus. Yeah, but look, my pattern count is good.
I do have one quick question on YouTube before we go. How do you hide or show the incomplete indicator on the left side? Also, are those in a portal?
Yeah, but it's easy. It's I'm using the same tag. Let's say not the tag mandatory. So, it's a negative, right? So to hide something like this, it needs to be. I want to show the thing when the tag show 1, right? When the tag show 1, I want, when that tag shows 1, I want mandatory, right? I want the incomplete. When it's not, but I cannot, if I say this, it will do the opposite. So I need to reverse that, because I want to hide when it's 0. Right? So that's why I said not. Not will always reverse. Okay? For example, if I say 1 plus 1 equal 2, FileMaker will tell me, yeah, you're right. If you say 3, FileMaker will say, no, you're wrong. Right? So that is another good demonstration you can do. Right? You can say 2 by 2 equal 4. FileMaker will say, yeah, good. You're right. Or if you say 5, no, it's not. You're wrong. So if you want to reverse that, right, just you put not in front. So now it will be the opposite. If we say 0, because when it's right, and it will say 1 when it's wrong. Or I need to put the parentheses. Okay, another thing here is it's a good education. You need to put parentheses. Why? Because FileMaker will think that you want to reverse. You want to reverse the 2. If you don't put parentheses, the not will apply under the parameter just before the what's the name? The operator. So you need to say, no. I don't want you to say not to multiplicate by 2 get. No. I want you to tell me this, all the expression, not, right? So now it's reversed. He has said 4, he said no, and when I say 6, he say yes, because I put the not. If I remove the not, it's the opposite. 6 is no, and 4 is yes, right? So the not is cool, especially when you want to use this freaking hiding state. When you want to use this, because most of the time you need to reverse your stuff. You need to reverse. Yes, you need to reverse your statement in order to hide, because most of the time we think positive. Our brain always think positive. Only FileMaker thinks negative. So at least for the hide statement here, the hide object, the visibility. So anyway, that's why I said not. When not tag, hide it. That means when not tag, when not incomplete, hide. Right? That's what we want. When it's not incomplete, hide it. I want to show it only when it's incomplete. So when it's not complete, hide it.
Okay.
Not 2 equals 0. Yeah. Cool. See? Here we learn things. It's like no, it's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool.
No, it absolutely is.
I like it. It's how we learn, actually. And but this. So I wanted to show how cool you can, but you understand now. You understand now that all this goodness is not possible if you don't have this freaking UI. If you don't have this layout on the car style window with all the goodness stuff we have, it doesn't work, right? Oh yeah, that's a good step. Those 2 knots, normally it will. Let's say I have this 1 plus 1 equal 2. So it's 1. Okay. Now I say not. He says 0. Let's see if I said not. He said 1. Yeah. You can reverse the reverse. That's cool. Yeah, look, I like the not is extremely powerful. To reverse something. You put parentheses, not, and bomb. Okay, great. Well, to plot the code, string to knots together. String the knots together, yeah. So, okay, so I think we're good for today.
That's it. I think we're good. Thank you again, Nick. Seriously, all of your stuff is always
and I want you guys to appreciate the performance, because I have a migraine to die. To die. I tell you, I have a migraine to die. My eyes are bloating, right? And I did all of this with a migraine. So it's a performance.
Seriously, Nick, thank you very much. This was awesome as always.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you doing it despite all the pain. You have a lovely day and hopefully you feel better.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.